Hello and welcome back to Rebound with Resilience, a podcast dedicated to raise your resilience, mindset, and mental wellness. On this episode, we talk about the journey in content creation, struggles, criticism, the joys, and of course, about animals. We have BioGirl MJ in the studio.
Hello. You can just call me MJ lah. I
Okay.
cringe whenever someone calls me BioGirl MJ.
Sure, MJ is fine. We won't reveal your real name because it's a
Yes,
secret.
Secret.
Right? I kind of half expected you to turn up in like the yellow because classic
Oh, right. But
yellow
that might be
polka-
too
informal,
similar. Maybe something
uh,
different will catch the audience attention.
Okay, I'm sure. I think we chatted before offline. We met once, and I'm just so. It's kind of surreal to host you because the first time I saw your content, I really loved it.
Oh, thank you.
I've always actually in some sense I vicariously live out my dreams through your content because I've always wanted to kind of be like Steve Irwin, host,
okay,
talk
okay.
about animals, right, and bring that joy to kids, to other people, and to see you doing that. To see a local channel when I first discovered it, you holding a snake. I remember the first video in Taiwan, and
It wasn't Singapore, okay? It was
yeah, it
allowed.
wasn't Singapore. Yeah, Singapore not allowed lah. I mean, like, Singapore cannot handle wildlife. Okay,
Yeah.
but anyway, you also did a snake hunt video in Singapore with
yeah.
I think with Herpetology Society. Is it called
Yeah,
Herpetology?
we did.
Right, and so yeah, I watched those videos and it's like wow, like someone in Singapore is doing it, and I never thought that one day I'll actually meet you in person and chat. And you're so kind and gracious to give me advice as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
you too, same.
Oh,
We
yeah,
had
I
a-
forgot to bring up. I need to bring this out. Ta-da.
Oh. Who's that?
It's my bear.
Oh,
Oops.
one moment.
So yeah, as I was saying, I was talking about my bear MJ before I knocked down my LED light. I was so excited. This is literally the first time I've knocked down my LED light out of excitement. But yeah, I was just saying that this is a bear since my last surviving soft toy.
Oh,
Yeah, his name is Snowflake.
Snowflake.
Had it
He's a
since I was
polar
10
bear.
years old, so I thought we just put it there as part of the set.
It's like a mini chocho.
It is. It's very fluffy. Okay, anyways, sorry, back to the podcast. Yeah, so I was just saying, it's really nice to see your channel. And of course, I do know that hearing your journey, the things you have been through, and right now where you're moving towards, it's just very fascinating. And hope we can learn a bit from you today. Yeah, about your journey.
Glad to be here.
Okay, so yeah, I think let's go to the beginning about how Just Keep Thinking started. It's very fascinating starting. You all may not know, but maybe I'll hear from you.
Oh, all right. Okay, so all along I've been into nature. In fact, that's my degree. It's not really useful degree, but I will talk about that later. So I usually like to share with people a lot of things about nature whenever I see them. Yeah, I do a lot of guidings and educational tours. So I was actually out on a holiday with my co-founder. So we were waiting for the sampan to go out on a snorkeling trip.
Yeah.
So while waiting, we were at the beach and there was a lot of dead corals around, it's coral rubble lah. So I was like picking up dead coral and I was like showing to him and I was like, hey, look at this. This dead coral, look at the different corallites, which is like the different small little holes where the polyps come out. All the terms. Yeah, and if you measure it, you can know how much the coral has grown, how long estimation. Yeah, so I started blabbering as usual. Yes, but I think it sparked something in him. So after the snorkeling trip, then we were on our way back on the tuk-tuk.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. I was just holding
yeah.
my coconut. I was just drinking it.
Cebu, right?
Yeah, Cebu.
Oh,
Then I was
wow.
holding my coconut, drinking it. And then he was damn quiet. And I was like, did I see something wrong? Did I make you angry? The kind of typical questions you ask when the other party is very quiet and not going to say anything. Then he was like, wait, anything. Yeah, and then he came up with this crazy idea.
He was hatching a plan.
Yeah,
He was kind of a
he
master
was.
plan. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's a dream.
That could be a video. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So the spark actually started in him, I would say, even though I genuinely just like to share right from the get-go. Yeah. So, and then the rest was history.
Yeah. It's an amazing origin story, right? It's like the dream, right? Partners working together. Sometimes he's behind the camera. I don't think he wants to be revealed. Sometimes. I mean, he does. He appeared in a couple of videos.
Oh, he
Yeah.
never appeared. His face never ever appeared.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's just
Is
a
it-
mysterious guy.
Okay. Is it a conscious choice? One day will he appear on screen? You never know. Yeah, but
Maybe,
we'll keep it as that for now. But I just feel it's like kind of a dream team. I wish I had a partner that could do production for me. But
my
my partner
goodness.
behind, he's attached and he's also a guy. So it's a bit hard for us to
Wait, there are
do that.
struggles with it, but we'll discuss about that later.
Yeah, for sure. It's not all like fun and games. I think, of course, when you're together as a partner, working together, there's definitely struggles. I think for whoever listening to this, you might have a passion for content creation. You might think of potentially monetizing your passion. What are some considerations? You might think of the journey as it being a YouTuber. And it's fascinating because you didn't start that way. You didn't start growing up saying, I want to be a YouTuber next time. Correct. In fact, you just came, you were just talking about it. And then all of a sudden, he just said, okay, he had a background in tech, right? In production. And then he said, okay, let's do this. And wow, amazing. Yeah. Let's go backtrack a little bit because I have a passion for nature animals. How did that come about?
That was I did start out from young, It's not
Okay.
like wow, my parents bring me, I touched a caterpillar for the first time and then it wasn't like that. Yeah, I was just any typical Singaporean girl. And there was a trip once in my JC years. So I was following the science club. I wasn't even in the science club. I just followed them.
Yeah.
There was a 3 days, 2 night camp in St. John Island. Yeah, so it was conducted by the people who is studying about this, which I eventually studied. Yeah, so that's where all the nature stuff happened. We went on intertidal walks, night walks, daytime, just terrestrial walks. And then that's when I realized, we have so much and so many animals.
We do.
So much nature and I don't even know about it. Yeah, so that was definitely the spark moment. I was like, I'm going to do something about this without even considering like the business, the job prospects.
Yeah.
Like, do I even have a job in the future? No, I just went ahead with it. Yeah.
And you formed your degree as well, right? Life sciences.
And definitely enjoyed my university years. Like, it wasn't too much of a struggle as compared to other people who dread, the entire 4 years of their lives. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's kind of that nerdish thing where you like kind of sometimes the information you talk about, that sciencey, there's different things that you kind of research about. It's very fascinating. I like that growing up, like watching Animal Planet and watching I think Austin Stevens. He had a snake show. One of my favorite, like he would wrestle with snakes, see different kind of snakes.
Oh my goodness.
It was amazing.
Austin Stevens.
Yeah, but anyway, okay, yeah. So that's a good context. Before we go into like how you grew content, right? I'm just curious, like Just Keep Thinking. How did that name come about? Was it originally called JKT?
Yeah. It also wasn't like a very, beautiful moment where, the inspiration came. It's really, we just both sat there and we really thought of it. We're like, brain pop, brain boost, brain explode. That's like, no, cannot. Sounds a bit weird. Then it's like, brain juice. And then then I was like, think, keep thinking, it will come to it. Then
You thought until the name.
yeah, really. We just think. We came up with a lot. It was like good 20 over names before we finally.
Okay.
Okay, I just keep thinking like, because we also don't want to be a channel to preach.
Just animals.
Yeah, we
'cause you
will
do
share
science.
facts. The long-term goal is to make sure everyone gets curious about the world around them. Always ask questions, always think, is this really what it is?
Right.
And and that's basically the direction of our channel.
Nice.
For the entire time also, should you eat your nose? Boogers, that kind of, like, hey, think about it, like that kind of thing. So that's how the name came about.
Cool, really cool. Like, I didn't highlight that earlier because I was all about the animals, right? But you also do science, right? And very interesting, like COVID, you educate people. A lot of infographics you draw yourself, by the way, it's so nice. Very shareable as well. It educates people about important topics, about health, about science, mental health recently as well. It's a mental health podcast. You were doing some content related to that.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice. I think the name really suits it. Even though personally I would like a more animal-oriented name, but that's just my personal preference. But of course, it's not just about that.
Oh wait, sorry. The infographic is a combined effort lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With
Me and my co-founder,
wow,
not just me.
So talented. I don't overuse the word talented. It's hard work as well, but they use that talent for good
Oh my
use.
goodness, that's an important point.
We will touch on.
Yes,
People think it's just talent. Honestly, wow, a lot of things had to happen to get to where you are.
Indeed.
Yeah, but I forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot to talk about your. I feel bad of me now. I never introduced your channel properly. They have 80K subs, 80K followers on Facebook, 6K on YouTube, and I think over 10K on Instagram, TikTok as well. So they really have a wide presence. That's why that's how I came across them also. So anyway, just saying that. I'm sorry I forgot to. I know you wouldn't mind, but I just wanted to say that because
Oh, thank you.
it's good to acknowledge. Okay, let's talk about beginning when you first started the first ever video you did. Do you remember that?
Yes, I did. In fact, it wasn't released.
Oh,
The first ever video. Yeah, because it was just like in fact it was about grasshoppers.
love it. There's one grasshopper that flew into my room once.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, then I took a video of it.
Oh, where is
Yeah, no, where
it went out.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on grasshoppers and it was like a pilot episode. But then we felt it wasn't right, so in the end we just didn't release it. So we filmed a few more episodes before we decided to launch the channel.
Yeah.
And the first one was scrapped off. But the first one that was published was the Coney Island one.
Okay.
Yeah, where we went to Coney Island to find this Baya Weaver's nest.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful nest built by this bird called the Baya Weaver.
Okay.
And yeah, it's very intricate lah. And there's an interesting story. Yeah, and it was an amazing moment because really, right, we were there for a good 5-6 hours. We couldn't find it.
Wow.
Which was really weird because I was very confident we could. Because the
Yeah.
previous time I went, which was actually 2 years ago, they were everywhere. And after 2 years, they were nowhere to be found. Yeah, then I was like, oh my goodness, are we going to end the video by saying we didn't find it? Yes. And at the very last minute, like we took a bite. We were really going back. So it's like the last stretch back before we really just end everything.
Sure.
We found it. It was way deep inside, but I actually found it. And then you could see in the video, I was like just crashing inside. And then I was like, we found it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, is this a sign? Is this a sign that it's going to work?
Maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe it was.
was.
Like, yes. As long as I persevere through, I will get it. That kind. Yeah.
How was the response to the first video?
Oh, it was great. In terms of the views, and to be honest, I'm not.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah,
right?
I wasn't. I'm not a social media person to begin with, so honestly, I don't really know how it went. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I thought the views that we see in videos is like a million. So if this is like a few thousand, then you just like, huh,
That's
good man,
though.
that kind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
then he
good
was
for
like,
first video.
it is, for like a first video.
It is.
Which we definitely did not expect lah. So that's when we realized that, hey, I think people do enjoy this kind of videos. It's quite fresh, refreshing, and it's new. So that was a indication that we could continue at least for quite some time.
Very nice, yeah. I think that's important for people. I think later we'll talk about aptitude and attitude, right? Because sometimes we create content, we create, but maybe the aptitude is not there. There's no market need, when to surrender. But in many cases where I spoke to content creators as well, a lot of them, even like, for example, our grandfather's story, they started out with some couple of videos. There was a really indication there was a market need, or in this case, interest, content. Yeah, like gap. So, wow, okay, love it. But okay, then of course the journey really began because you're working full time as well. You're doing this as a side hustle. Do you all have any thought process in growing it? Or was it just like, okay, let's just put out content and see how it goes?
That was the initial part lah. Just put out content and see how it grows. I believe it's the same for any of the bigger content creators out there. Yeah, so it's just, it was well received, the first one. Okay, let's try to put out some more. Yeah, and then you see it as something fun lah. So you don't really get very pressurized because the side hustle thing is really fun to do and think of ideas together. Yes, and as it grows bigger, like really bigger.
Yeah.
And I think the whole expansion part comes in when bigger names start to approach us and ask us, where
we all consider doing content.
And like clients start to come in lah. So that's where we had to think about potential expansion or even like monetizing it. Yeah. So but all I think the very deep in our hearts we also know this is a passion thing. If all else fails, it's all right lah. It's not like the end of the world. Yeah.
I like that about you a lot. I think the fact that you can not tie your worth to your content, even though it's incredibly difficult because you put a lot of time and effort into it,
It is.
And it's a passion, but at least you can look back and say that I did it. I refilmed this video. At least that you can be proud of. But sometimes along the way as you go along, it becomes like the lines become blurred, right? It's passion, business, and it's like, we need to get content. I guess we'll talk about that in a bit, but just asking more of like on a personal level, right? I think people might want to know, especially if they start a side hustle, your time management, your working hours, how was it like? How do you manage it?
Oh man. Don't sleep. Yeah, really. Like actually I don't feel like I lack a lot on my social life, like they say you have to just hustle all the way and like you have no social life, you have to like just focus on putting all your time and effort in this. Maybe just for me like I realized actually if I don't dilly-dally, I do have a lot of time. And I'm not sure if it's the case for many people. I actually feel so, like there's a lot of time where we just sit there and do nothing. So which is important in terms of, relaxation. But because now I have this channel going on top of my full-time job. So, at the end, like every time I finish my full-time job in the day, then I will immediately go to work on my channel. Yeah, so it's like no dilly-dally time. but it's not necessarily like, you're going to work yourself to death.
lah.
Yeah, it's really prioritizing. And if you actually enjoy this side hustle, then it's okay. You won't feel, I mean, it's still tiring, but you won't feel like, it's sucking the life out of you. Yeah, like, okay, let's just do this. Yeah, and weekends, of course, you gotta sacrifice to sometimes film and all. Yeah, so really not a lot of sleep as compared to last time. Not much sleep as compared to last time, but
Thanks for being real. I
still-
think it's important for people to know that it doesn't come easy, right? People think you just go to film, then like it's not. It's a lot of planning, a lot of work.
it is.
Yeah, for
So
both
for the
you and your
lighting,
co-founder.
when it rains, when there's a car going past, that's it, to refilm. Then it's like,
Yeah.
what really?
Yeah, or maybe like your film outdoors. So for some reason there's a thunderstorm and so all your plans are gone.
Yeah. Wow, like too bright. I was like, huh? Like that also can. Okay. Yeah.
But despite all that, I think you persevered through. I think it's been quite an amazing journey. And I think you rightly pointed out that sometimes you have to enjoy it. It has to be something that you enjoy creating. Like for example, this podcast, I do really enjoy putting out content. Just that sometimes you have to balance it. Like when it starts to become an inverted commas business, like the stress does come about. So I was also curious how you managed to handle that. Like, I mean, this is a common consideration people talk about. Was there any expectations when you started to grow? And do you feel that passion was maybe mixed with business or kind of like tempered a little bit?
Definitely lah. Although when we start out, it's full on. It's always passion first. But as you grow bigger and then I want to do more, like, any content creator, you want to do more. And then that's where you start thinking about, if I go into this full time, I would have more time and that will really help the channel lah. But yeah, I mean, to do that, you still need to put food on the table.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Nothing wrong with that.
that's when the
Yeah.
monetization part comes in. So yeah, I struggle with that a lot actually. So for currently our situation, we do have sponsored content, but that's not a lot. It's a good like 60 or 65 versus 40 or 35%. Yeah. So that's the current situation right now. Yeah.
But it was progressive lah, right? It's a struggle, but it was progressively.
Yeah, it was progressive. I think it's a happy problem in a way. It is a problem, but it's a happy problem. It looks like because it shows that it's going in a direction where you might get you might be able to do this full time, and that'll be great lah. I really like filming and enjoying, but I was also worried if people start to see it as sponsored content, will that affect? Then will that be thinking like, why are they earning money out of this? Then I'm like, but it cannot be free, you know what I mean? How can anyone survive doing it unless they are super rich and they can just spend all the money in the world just doing this for free? Yeah, but it's like it goes hand in hand in a sense. Like, it's not mutually exclusive.
For sure. I think it's tricky. I would argue that people nowadays, they are aware that content creators deserve to be paid for their content. I think that's just my thought process. I really want you to be, I mean, at least for me, I want you to be successful. I want your channel to grow because it means you can create more. Right? But I guess maybe not everybody, because of their own filters, they might interpret it as, okay, you're using animals and environment to kind of make money from it. And, they might say, hey, how come you do that? But actually, I wanted to talk a little bit on your success. What has been some criticisms apparently about success, but I will save it for later a bit because teaser a bit because I want to cover some stuff about. I want to cover some stuff first before going there, and specifically I want to talk about your hosting. Okay, like the learning curve you had, because any side hustle you need to have a learning curve, right? And you didn't just start out everything is fine. I'm curious, like yeah, I mean, your personality really shines through.
Oh, thank you.
In your videos, but like, was it like that? Like, I mean, do you have any fear when you first on camera? Previously, you didn't have any experience.
Yeah, I did have performance experience, so I'm not sure if that actually helped. But all along, in terms of presentation, even in schools and like when I do project presentation, I realize I'm not really very nervous. Even for like as a teacher, I'm a teacher. Then I'm teaching appraisals, where someone will sit down there, a senior teacher will sit down to observe me, like after 10 minutes throughout the whole sitting, I will forget that she existed.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too much of a struggle for me in terms of being in front of the camera, getting nervous and all. There was once where I shot with the minister and all. Yeah, I wasn't nervous also. Like eventually I didn't really, it took me like 5 minutes to get used to it. Yeah. But for the memorizing part, it did take quite some time lah. Because I realized I speak too fast.
Yeah.
It's something I didn't know. It's only like after the first few videos, then I'll be like,
feedback, right?
yeah. Then my friends like, hey MJ, you stop rapping. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's just a self-awareness thing, but practice makes perfect. And as I go on, that's where I will be more aware of how I speak, and I will try to articulate my words properly instead of rapping. But when someone say like, MJ stop rapping, that came to my mind. I was like, hey, maybe I can rap. Like maybe I have a talent in rapping also, since I can speak so fast.
Yeah.
Then why not, right? So I tried it on
Create
one
a
TikTok.
TikTok
It's
video.
quite funny. I tried it on, I rapped to like Blackpink song. It was quite funny, but
Yeah.
some people appreciated it, some people don't. But who knows? Rapper MJ will come out. DJ MJ.
So, here's the thing that I think people need about people can learn from you as well is that just that growth mindset, that ability to just like, okay, not really screw everybody, but knowing that I'm just being me and I'm okay trying, I'm okay failing, right? It's almost as if you have this thing that, okay, I'm just gonna try.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
cannot do that. They really fear starting out.
Aww.
Yeah. So I mean, do you have any advice to people like that? Like they want to start out, but they're super fearful what people think. I mean, think about it, right? Your videos are viewed by thousands of people, and technically you can feel like, hey, people are judging me.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like, it seems
yeah.
that you don't feel it as much as others. But how will you advise people who maybe that's holding them back?
I think from I do have an advantage in the sense that the channel is about science and nature, so I know that criticism, it won't go that far as to
it's
very
more
personal
factual, yeah.
insults. Yeah. If anything, it's more of, I mean, there were people who say like, why she talk like that kind of thing. Yeah. So but then the huge amount of positive comments drowns out all the negative ones. Yeah. And I guess you never try, you will never know. You should just always take a risk. If you are really that afraid, you can film first and just show it to your close friends and families. Force them to say their honest opinions. Yeah. And if they are okay with it, then I mean, it shouldn't be that bad, right?
Yeah.
If you're not gonna be very insulting or in your video, just launch it lah. I mean, what could be the worst that could happen? If you're not insulting or like saying something illegal in your video. At the most, maybe the comments on your face, on your physical appearance, on the way you speak. If it's not too bad, then it's really just personal opinions of others, which eventually you still have to learn to get over it. Yeah. So I would think you can just test out with your friends and families first, which is what we did with our first episode lah. Yeah. And then if the response is generally good, just launch it and see how it goes lah. Even if it's like a really bad video that went viral, right? People will forget it in like a week. So no one will remember
that's
you.
a good
So
point.
yeah. Because if you don't start, then you will never start. So it's gonna be fine. What's the worst that could happen? You're not killing somebody in front of the camera. Yeah, like don't be afraid. It's Singapore.
Okay. Wow, that's such good advice. I always give this advice to youth, not just in like creating content, but anything they want to do. A lot of fears are actually in their head, and when you put out your work, you show your work out there, and you have a good buffer, right? There's almost always positive that comes out of it because you learn so many intangible interpersonal skills from it. How to deal with challenges, for example, criticism, judgment. Like these things are necessary even if you go out to work there, right? It's necessary for living a life that's meaningful. Because if you just live forever for the validation or for fear of what other people think, then you're gonna be very restricted all the time.
Yeah. It's not a life worth living. You're not living your life. You're living other people's life.
Yeah. And I keep praising you, but I mean, pardon me, I know I'm a kind of a mini fan, right? But I think that's the reason why people draw to your content. Because they find you very personable and very bright. It's like you're just being yourself, right? It may not be orthodox as a host, right? You may not, you know what I mean? Like orthodox as in the way they speak, everything. You host, they usually speak like super professional. But the way you do it is so unique to you. And you get that passion, the enthusiasm for the animals, for the things you're talking about, supersedes like whatever minor flaws in it might think.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think that's important, especially if you're not like a host of a channel or anything. I mean like a TV channel where you don't really have to be prim and proper. Especially in social media, people want to see something different, something unique. So just be who you are. Even if you're awkward, right? That can actually be a thing.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of YouTube, like there's this very awkward, a very nerdy person, keeps talking about One Piece, but he has millions of subscribers because that is so unique about it. So just be yourself, and you want people to like you for who you are instead of you pretending to be somebody anyway, right? So yeah, be yourself.
Good. Last question before we go on into talking about your current success.
Okay.
Last question on growing content, right? Like so if someone is growing a channel, for example, right, or any side hustle passion, when do they know when to, whether commas, let go or quit, or to engage in grit and push forward?
I think first of all, it has to come from a mindset of, there's something you're passionate about, you want to share with everyone. It's something that, I mean, in a grander scale, it's like it will help society. I know it's a bit of a bigger word, but I really,
It does.
yeah, for my channel, we really wanted to reach out to people who are not necessarily interested in nature and science, which is actually very difficult. You're trying to get someone who's not interested.
Yeah.
Imagine someone's not interested in you and trying to get a person like you. It's the same thing. Yeah, so that was our bigger vision in that sense. Yeah, and not start out, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to earn a lot of money, I want to gain a lot of followers.
Yeah.
Which actually, surprisingly, a lot of people do think that way.
Yeah.
And how do you be a YouTuber if you have no substance to show in the first place? Like, you get what I mean? Like, what are you going to show if,
Yeah.
unless you're pretty and you can think. Okay, that's another form of,
Engagement.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, so yeah, I guess with that, right, then things get so much easier because you don't have the pressure of, becoming famous fast, earning money fast. And that passion will continue to bring you forward and keep you doing this for a long period of time. And I'm sorry, did I digress? What was the question?
No, you kind of semi-answered it, but I think also when do we know when to let go? Yeah, because technically, if they say they want to do it and they want to make money from it, but after a certain point, where do they know that, okay, I'm just creating so much content, but maybe the market is not wanting my content at this point of time. When do they have the courage to say, maybe let's move on to something else?
Okay.
Tough question.
Let go. You don't know when, to be honest. Like, I think letting go is something based on your own happiness. If you realize
answer.
that you keep pushing out content and it doesn't get the engagement you want and you're starting to get very frustrated with it, most of the time you could see the content creators stop making content gradually. It's not like a hard, fast decision, It's like they're just getting
Wane off
lazier.
lah. Yeah.
Which is also okay. You can better spend the time on something else, or if you like join some other company or work for someone else and you enjoy the work there, that is something positive also. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, letting go or not letting go is not a good or bad decision. But having said that, if you're really passionate about creating content, then the engagement part shouldn't affect you that much unless you start off with wanting that much engagement to begin with. Then that's where the pressure comes in. That's where you really think, should I let go or should I continue on? But if you started out as, a passion, a hobby, then it shouldn't be that much of a worry. Like, it's a bonus if it goes viral and you get the engagement that you want. But if it doesn't, it's fine. So that's what we started out with. Yeah. It's not a worry that a budding or a new content creator should be worried about, because that's only going to go downhill. It's going to give you a lot of unnecessary pressure. Yeah, so I would suggest, like, as long as you have the passion, just continue doing what you're doing. And when the time comes, then things will happen for you. Yeah, it's because social media is something so
Cannot control,
unpredictable.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you cannot control. So just keep doing it. If eventually you stop doing it, like naturally, then I mean, you won't feel any sadness. It's just natural for you also. So
Well,
best
I
things
mean,
about your happiness.
Yeah,
lah,
yeah. I really love your answer. Like, it's just like the happiness comes in also. I think people don't consider. I mean, just about people say, okay, I'm going to look at just the money alone, but the happiness also is a factor there, because like if let's say you're creating, but you're also not happy, you can argue that may be time to let go as well, right? And like you said, if they just want to create content for fun, they enjoy the process. And you just do it as a form of like, release. Then who cares? Just keep doing it, right? So it really depends on the outcome that you want, the context that you're under. But happiness is one thing that is a good consideration. I guess I would put in one extra caveat as well, right? I think for me, I realized that you need to at one point be also realistic in looking at the market. Like, you cannot be to the point where you're delusional, where I know the line is very fine, but sometimes if you may not have the aptitude for it, right? Or you just, you know what I mean? And like the market doesn't receive it. If you just keep doing, then it becomes a little bit delusional. But I mean, who to say? I mean, who am I to say you're delusional, right? So honestly, I'm just saying this from my experience. I think you all can check it out. Lah. I mean, you can think about it because when I first started a podcast as well, it was at some point it was a bit delusional.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I enjoy creating and everything, but I wanted to monetize it quick because I had the pressure to kind of pay my co-producer and everything.
Right.
So it was very stressful. And I realized I cannot do it authentically because I cannot provide value for the client as well. Yeah, so I think you need to consider all this lah. When it points to a point where you're not getting numbers and you still want to force for the monetization, it's also not good.
Yeah, and it might translate into your content creation. Like
Yeah.
you don't think as creatively anymore when you film your stuff. It's not the same. And I think eventually it will translate to your audience also. So really being happy about what you do is very important. So I have a few friends who actually chose not to monetize at least yet lah, because they were worried about the pressure that they'll be facing. Yeah, and they just choose to stick like, they produce much less content, but at least they're happy with this
Yeah.
arrangement, which is fine also. Yeah.
Love it. Let's transition into your current success, the lessons you've learned, some, drawbacks, I would say, and also the impact, lah, I guess you want to make, with your channel. Let's start with being recognized more often. Right, I think that's one thing when you kind of get a little bit mini inverted commas, for lack of a better word, fame. How does that make you feel?
It's so weird like for the first few times I was so awkward that I say the wrong things, like they were like, I recognize, someone will be like, oh, I recognize you, you're the crab girl, because that the video went a bit
Crap.
viral.
The crab, not the crab. The
Crab,
crab.
crab, yeah,
The bee.
yeah. Then, oh, you're the crab girl, right? Then I'll be like, oh, really? You recognize it? Like, I'll get very flustered, which is,
Yeah.
if I were there, I'll be like, why this girl siao ah? Like, that's why I reflect. I was like, okay, I shouldn't act this way. Like, just bow, say thank you, just be nice and like, hello to everyone. Yeah, I changed from there because it's really very weird. Like, I didn't experience this kind of being recognized.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
this
adoration.
adoration. Yeah, but eventually I kind of got used to it lah. Not, oh my god, I say until like, I recognize again. No,
No,
I
lah,
don't.
people can
But
tell you're humble. Lah. No,
yeah, I just like really see them as friends and really thank them for their support and thank them for really coming up to me because all in all, I enjoy meeting people who watch my video. Yeah, it was really cute lah. There was a couple of this elderly couple, very cute, akong ama. Like I was at Sungai Buloh and they were there. Like the akong was like, "Bio girl MJ, I recognize your voice." I was like, wait. Oh, then the couple came and they took photo with me. Like the akong and ama, super cute.
Wow.
That's where I realized, oh, the old people watch my show, so that's great. Yes. But I
meaningful,
mean,
yeah.
I think usually the younger adults, they are a bit more afraid to approach me.
But you can see that they recognize you, right? You can see one.
Yeah,
sense,
they give side eye. Like eventually they will, but it's like a very tiptoe, like hi,
Sure.
are you? But the kids are the one that's the most excited lah, which is quite amazing. Like I have two big fans. Like they are all young girls out there. But they text me on Instagram almost every day. It's really
really?
cute. And one of them was like, I have two idols in the world. One is Ariana Grande and one is Biogirl MJ. That's like,
Wow,
wow, I'm
on the same
Ariana
level.
Grande, ah. That's
Wow.
like, okay, no, lah. I
Easy
like
to put
small
into a
peanut.
snippet.
Yeah, but then
that's
I
cool.
struggle a bit with the thoughts like, people are idolizing me. But then, so I had to talk to my friends and co-founder about it. Then they were like, it's not necessarily bad, what,
Yeah.
you're championing for science and nature. That's a good idol for kids to look up to. Yeah, then I was like, okay. Yeah, then I just accepted it as it is and just be really happy about it lah. As long as like a positive thing.
Yeah, it's just like accepting it. I think we discussed this a bit, right? I said that sometimes you don't choose the role, right? The role chooses you.
Yes.
You don't choose to be a hero, right? People choose you as the hero. And I guess the best thing you can do is honor that in them.
Yes.
Instead of saying, I'm not a hero, I mean, don't screw you. I mean, obviously you wouldn't say that, but you honor that in them. You validate them as well.
Yeah. Just knowing that young kids look up to me then makes me want to do more also and share with them more knowledge.
I love it, but on that note, does it give you also the added pressure of being a role model, even though you didn't choose this role? You just wanted to create content, now you're a role model. Does that put extra pressure on you?
Oh my goodness, yes it does. Like you have no idea how much I restrain from talking on Facebook.
Right.
The comment. I don't say anything bad, but I'm usually quite honest. But now it's like, I really fall back a lot. Like there's a lot of times where I want to post a story and then I just deleted the whole thing because I realized it's not something I would hope people would see me. Yeah, but in a way, it also changes me for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I usually tend to act on my emotions a lot. But now because I cannot, because sort of people might recognize me,
Yeah.
but also because, but because of that, in the end, I get to really calm down and think about what I'm going to say. And if I still want to say, I will rephrase it in a better way, like in a
Right.
more positive tone. Yeah, so that was a learning journey for me as well. So there was an example about, I think about crocodiles. I think like someone posted on Facebook, like, why is the crocodile doing there? No one catching it. And I was like,
Yeah.
what catch why? It's supposed to be there. What? Then the comments were quite mean lah, because
Yeah.
he posted in a nature group. And I was like, okay, you're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking through the comments. It was quite recent, so I'm already like calm down.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah. Then in the end, I gave another reply lah, in a more positive note. Like
Sure.
addressing
More
the fact that
neutral,
he's a
empathizing with him.
he's a Singaporean that did not get to experience nature when he
Yeah.
was young, and now we get to see it. It's a thing to be celebrated. Crocodiles. In Singapore, especially in COVID period where we want to see more exciting stuff,
Yeah.
and also an indication it's a good ecosystem. So now it's like please go on to go and visit Sungai Buloh one day and admire the crocodiles. I promise it won't eat you. And then the funny
Sure, yeah.
emoji. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was quite unexpected, like to see how being Bargo MJ has actually changed my personality for the better, certain traits of me.
I felt very happy listening to that. Yeah.
Really?
I'm happy for you also because I love how you take it so positively and then make that change towards someone that in a way I can kind of get where you're coming from, but of course not on the scale that you are at, because I mean sometimes students do follow me after the programs here and there, and like I do think twice before will this add any value to anyone if I post this, right? And then if it doesn't, I sometimes just delete it and I say that maybe it's not the best for you to look at this now. So I kind of get you, but the fact that you can be a mediator, you have a balanced, rational point of view, you've been an educator because you are an educator in your full-time job, and also you are an educator on screen. So you kind of play that role in all fronts.
Oh, thank
Nice.
you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was going to talk about some other downsides, but you feel like we made it so positive, right? We need to put into like a snippet. But what about like the downsides? Like people like creepy messages or people like asking for funny stuff?
Oh my goodness, quick messages. Actually, not that much lah. Like I don't
Sure.
receive like.
Because you see how your identity somewhat. It's not
Yeah.
fronted, so
Yes. Of course, people start. I mean, they managed to find my real name and real account, and
Yeah.
they follow me. But I just don't say. I'm sorry. But creepy messages, not a lot. But there are some people who. There are some people who disagree with the content.
yeah.
Yeah. So those they will just message me, and we try to see it positively lah. Be like, okay, we'll take in your feedback. Yeah. But if it's like super unreasonable, we just say, yeah, thank you, but we just ignore it.
Okay.
Like a typical PR style lah. Cause I mean, if they are just being angry for things that doesn't matter, then
Yeah.
there's no point just really being upset about it also. Yeah, and there was one really funny one, like cause we filmed with the minister, Desmond Lee.
Yeah.
And then I think there was some like animal incidents. Then he was like, "You're friends with Desmond Lee, right? Can you talk to him about this?" I was like, "Bro, that's not how it works. It's not like that. Even if we film with him, it goes through someone else. I don't have his number. I'm not like friend with him. He's not my Facebook friend."
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just not right lah. I felt that was like taking advantage of just
Sure.
because I film with someone, then I have every power to do every
Small
justice
thing
to
for you.
anyone,
Yeah,
which is not how it works.
Okay.
So yeah, that was. But okay, so far no creepy messages.
Good transition into the part about criticisms. I think I know this is quite personal for you because you did share with me, and I appreciate you being willing to share this. Share with us about how do you manage that. I know that some of your closest people may not be supportive of your content. Yeah, just share that journey and how that made you feel.
Sure. I mean, it's quite shocking, right? You would think that the closest people will be very supportive of what you do, but turns out they weren't, or at least at the very beginning lah. So the nature community in itself, that's how I feel. I feel they weren't very receptive because all along there's a certain way of doing things, especially for scientists.
Yeah.
It's very step by step. Like when we write a paper, there's an
Yeah,
abstract
purist
intro,
lah. Yeah.
materials and methods. And then when if you hang out with the nature and science community, it's a lot of it is specific. Like you have to be specific about things. Not all fish are cold-blooded. There's some warm-blooded ones. Okay, not all turtles live in the water. Not all turtles have, which is something I know also. But
Yeah.
yeah, so they couldn't see it in a more for mass audience mindset. So, and because the channel is something really different, something new, we're trying to infuse social media and science, and we're making things very lighthearted and fun for people. Because our target audience is the mass audience, the people who don't care about it.
Yeah.
So the people who actually cared about it, they don't seem to be comfortable with this new kind of method of communication. So yeah, there was a lot of, not say a lot lah. Actually, I don't know. I feel that the support wasn't there, and there were a lot of feedbacks lah, like personal feedbacks to me, like, hey, actually, Natal also got feedback. I was like, yeah, I know, but
Okay.
yeah, so that was a bit unexpected, but I think now they see the value in it, and it's getting better lah. I'm getting more support from the community in itself. Yeah, I guess they understood why it has to be in a certain way, because if you start to talk about specifics and you ramble on and on, right? People will just scroll past. Yeah. So, lesser words is always better in terms of capturing attention. Then my mindset is that, you capture their attention first. If they want to learn more, they will learn it more themselves. And then that's where we realize the specifics and the exceptions and whatnot. But you have to get their attention first. There's no point giving so much information, but they're not going to stop and read it. Yeah. But should I go on to my
What
mentor?
about yeah, you can talk about that as well. I think also you had a mentor that guided you along the way, and maybe along the way she felt that like your content is not the way she liked it to be, and I for one know lah that it's difficult. That's probably the most difficult. The people that helped us along the way, the people that we look up to, the ones that maybe don't support us. I think it's difficult.
It is. Yeah. I had a mentor that, yeah, like you said, guided me through my in my journey, especially in university. So I kind of look up to her a lot also, like because she's so knowledgeable and caring in her own way. But yeah, when the channel came out, I actually thought a lot of people would be happy. I mean, at first they weren't, but eventually they do share it and see it positively. But from her, I mean, I didn't get negative things about it, but I literally get zero support or mention. It was maybe there was once lah, but then it was very weird because she shares and supports a lot of the other much smaller or
Sure.
content creators, or the things they share, things they do. But when I do similar, when I share similar stuff and I push out similar content, like there was literally no sharing or mention or support, which was very weird because I was like, I'm close-ish to you, right? Like compared to the other random strangers that you don't
Yeah.
even know, but you don't seem to react that much. You don't like seem to care about it that much. Like I'm sure she sees it, but I don't know why she doesn't really support it in a way that I want. Maybe I'm too greedy. Like I want like some recognition from her.
Expectation,
Yeah. Because I thought that, hey, maybe she's happy that I'm doing this. Yeah, but turns out she wasn't very, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe she's not unhappy, but yeah, she's just
Not
not supportive. There's no
yeah.
response from her. So it was a bit sad. It feels like you feel like a kid where, you work so hard and
Your
you actually
parents,
produce
right?
something, and
And
then
your
your parents
parents,
just like, oh, okay. And then walk away, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, and so that actually plagued me for quite a while. Like I didn't know what was going on. And I was like, wait, why is she like this? And I was very upset. It affected me for so long. It was like a good few years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
since like, since the channel began,
Yeah.
like 2 years, I just kept thinking, I was like, why this particular person don't want to like support me and that kind of thing. Yeah. It's so much until I went, psychologically, like I went to figure out why we get stuck on the negative stuff, because I do have receive a lot of positive love and all from everyone else, but this one negative thing, right, from this one person affected me so much. Yeah, and it's like, it's a
'Cause you looked up
evolution
to
of our
her.
brain.
Yeah. I mean, negativity bias, right? We always see that one thing and then we see it as a threat, and the positivity kind of crowd doesn't get seen. Yeah, we can. But I think going back to the main point is, when the heroes we look up to don't especially the heroes we look up to, don't necessarily appreciate what we do. That can be hard.
Yeah,
So
it really does. That one hero.
But
Like,
how do you then move on from there? I mean, of course, we did discuss. It might be because of, again, we don't want to put any thoughts into her journey is her journey. But I just told you that it could be. This is just my opinion. It could be possibly because a bit of envy as well, right? Your channel is growing, and you're getting a lot of attention. It is the biggest science channel now, and I think maybe that bit of envy also does play a part in people not wanting to support you or giving a little bit of minor criticisms. But how do you overcome it eventually?
yeah, I feel so. Also, actually, it might be lah, like in a sense, which I'm also very uncomfortable with. So all in all, I will not pose myself as like a conservationist or
Yeah.
a scientist. I'm an educator.
Oh, that's one big thing that people misconceive as well. That you just because you're doing this content, you might maybe advocate or interpret as an environmentalist, but it may not be the case.
No, like educator, like ultimately, I would think for certain issues, people can have their own opinions, and we try to push it in the right way, but ultimately we just share, and it's up to people to figure it out lah. Like we'll share on both sides, and then hopefully they will go to the one that we are encouraging people to go towards too. Yeah, but back to my mentor. Well, for that, I don't know. I still got over it. It's still,
It still is lah.
I'm
But I mean,
definitely
how do you
still
cope with
upset
it?
about it. Yeah, but I didn't try to confront her. It's a bit awkward, try to ask her about this, why you don't support me. This is gonna be a bit weird. But ultimately I try to come to terms with it instead of confronting it.
Yeah.
Which I think is also okay eventually when, if confronting it was gonna give you a worse outcome, why not just, in a sense, it's letting go also, just accepting and letting it go. And because she has been a mentor that has really helped me in my journey, I'll always see her positively and be grateful for what she has done for me, for the community, and I just try to live with that lah. Because ultimately, yeah, she's still my mentor, and I will love her forever lah. So, and I just want to keep these good memories that we have. Yeah, so in a sense, like it could be it's something I don't really have to be bothered about also. So in a sense, I feel like I can be the one that changed the way I look at things. Like it's okay if she doesn't support me as long as she never say anything bad.
Yeah.
That I still receive so much love from everyone else. So with that, then I just chose, like it's okay. Ultimately, we still have good memories. I'll still love her. She's forever my mentor and someone I look up towards too. Yeah.
Okay. I just maybe a suggestion also, like this is something that you could consider lah. Perhaps one day, like having a just a chat with her, like asking her for me. I don't think you've had a chat with her for very long, right? Do you still chat?
Yeah, we do about other stuff.
Other stuff lah. So it's not on. Okay. Interesting. I was just wondering lah. I mean, this is just my personal as a friend, like the suggestion. Whether you take it or not is really up to you. But if one day, like maybe not recently, not doesn't need to be like tomorrow or something. But if one day you just feel in your heart like asking her for a meal and just not necessarily confronting, but trying to maybe to understand, this is how I'm feeling. I'm just wondering, is there any? This is from my heart speaking. I think that would help. Possibly.
I understand where you're coming from.
From, right? Because she will also get a chance to share where she's coming from, and I think it'd be nice. Yeah, and I think also letting her know that you appreciate and you love her regardless of the help. I think, but that's just my opinion. You don't need to take it.
No, it's valid. I that's usually my way of doing things. Like I will talk to people, but someone for it's a bit
The
different.
fear lah. Okay, I get you. Of what you say. And when the time comes, I think you'll know what to do. Like you said earlier, just let it flow.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the advice.
Okay, we're coming towards the end of the podcast. Just really more briefly, right? Speaking about the rewarding parts of your journey, okay, and maybe the impact you want to leave in your viewers. The most rewarding part of your journey and the impact you want to leave.
Oh man, the most rewarding part. Oh, so many rewarding parts. Like just the comments alone, like how much they enjoyed it was really touching. And I'm sure the same for you also, when you help someone and someone sends you a personal message, like a really long one, and you'll be like, oh, they spent the whole time, writing that. So that was really nice. But say for me, I really felt it when there were emails from the kids themselves. I mean, the parents had to help to send them, but yeah. So one of it, the boy actually went to film his own Biogirl MJ episode. It was very cute. The camera was all shaky, and then like,
Yeah.
you know, and then he went to Botanic Gardens. It's like, look, that's a Komodo dragon. And I was like, no, that's not a Komodo dragon. That's a
Monitor
monitor
lizard.
lizard. But it's okay, you know. The thing is, he got interested, and then you know he actually had a shot of having his own
Right.
episode. Yeah, and we also have an email. We had an email where you know the kids actually drew me and them together, and then the dad sent them. You know, because the kids were such a big fan of me, and then we eventually met in real life. You know, when I
Wow.
brought them for a guided tour, so that was pretty fun.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow,
so all
that's
these
the dream.
small things. That
It's a
is
dream
right,
of
the
a
dream.
content creator also.
Yeah, I didn't know like you know this video could impact them so much in a positive manner also. So that was really happy. It's a sign that I'm doing something well.
It is.
Yeah,
And the impact, I guess, will be similar.
impact.
The impact you want to leave in viewers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt that so far we did manage our to reach our goal of like you know at least getting people who are not interested in nature and science in general. Yeah, even though I mean the numbers is not like millions as compared to the
That's
other
very good.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's for science and nature channel starting out in Singapore. I think it's
good.
It's something that I want to congratulate.
You honor yourself for, right?
Yeah,
important.
although there's still a long way to go. And yeah, not only that, I feel like we can help business also eventually. Yeah,
Because it's an
so-
ecosystem.
It
Right?
is, right? It is. So yeah, like our crab episode, we actually helped the crab farm a lot. Like, I think he
Yeah.
was struggling a lot with his business.
Yeah, that's nice also.
Yeah, and we were just starting out. We didn't have a
Yeah.
lot of followers, but because that video went viral, so it helped him lah. He went on the newspaper.
Wow.
He's
I
too
hope-
busy
I
to
hope,
reply-
I
too
hope,
busy.
I hope he thanked you though. No lah. I mean, whether you
No
know,
lah, it's okay, it's
up to-
okay. He thanked us by just letting us
Giving you
film.
some crabs. No lah. Just
Oh, he gave us one crab.
oh.
Oh, it's damn good. Oh man, we steamed it, but okay, that's another. Steam it without sauce, without anything. It was yeah.
Oops. This,
I'm helping
this,
you promote more.
this is the thing, right? So it's just the funny thing is, I'm sorry to cut you off again, but
No, it's
the
okay.
funny thing is that we kind of subconsciously people expect you to be a vegetarian.
Oh,
Because you like
alright.
animals and it's like, hey, how come you eat the animals that you present?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then again, this is another misconception. Like you can respect animals and still have a symbiotic relationship with them.
Yeah.
Right,
I
like-
mean, the whole vegetarian topic is
A separate thing
it's another
altogether.
can of
Okay.
worms. Yeah.
Let's not go there lah. But okay. Nice. I'd like to end off a quote also. Like I think it was Gandhi, but some people say it's not attributed to him, but they do say that like how great a nation is how they treat their animals. And I tend to agree as well. There is research that shows that crime in animals and crime against humans is correlated.
Oh yes, I've recently found about
You
that.
know, and it's fascinating like how we extend kindness to our environment, the people around us. Animals can also translate into a more inclusive, compassionate society. And it's beautiful because remember okay, again, I keep saying that I enjoy your content, but I tell you why also is because there's one time I faced this dilemma.
Okay.
At the end my JC, right, my friend asked me what I want to do. And I said I really love animals, like maybe I could be a marine biologist. That's one of the first dreams that I had, by the way.
Oh.
Be a marine biologist. So I said that, but then I'm not sure whether he can make money, I'm not sure I can feed my family and everything. And also possibly at that point in time, maybe subconsciously I felt it's not as prestigious. So he told me that, Kevin, like you don't need to think in black and white. Like when you go out there and work, right, you can combine certain things together. Passions, people. And I also told him that I also want to impact people, not just animals. But he said that actually you can combine it together. It need not be exclusive. I did not understand what he meant at that point in time. I really did not as an 18-year-old kid. But now I begin to understand. To the viewers as well, you can combine passions and really, really make something good out of it. Yeah, like what you're doing, impacting people, talking about animals. So that's why I say I'm living vicariously through your content.
Hey, you're
Yeah.
doing well also. But that's true lah. Like you can change your passion into something that's your own. It's something I
Yeah,
didn't expect
yeah,
also,
yeah.
you know. For me it's like, do I be a zookeeper? Do I
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
never imagine that now this would be you, like Biogo
I
MJ,
really
right?
didn't, yeah.
Right. So that's the beauty of it as well. Okay, lah. But a lot of people like just maybe last messages for like your fans or like your plans for the future, like what you hope to bring to them and just in general. Any message?
To my supporters out there, if you're watching, thank you so much for supporting us. And this is something we are really passionate about. Like, yeah, this is where I can really use the word passion because we really put our heart, blood, and sweat and soul into this. And ultimately, I hope everyone can learn to share the love for nature, to just to just keep wondering why things work, and ultimately realize, that nature is part of us, have this love for animals. And if not, at least just be aware of things and just learn what is there around you and the science behind it. Yes, just have a fun time and good time with us. Just
It's
keep
great.
thinking.
Oh yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting for that. I was like, you did not say it, you said you just keep. Then I was like, I expect
Yeah, I
you to
was
say
like,
thinking.
you cannot say it now. I must put it towards the end. Then
Oh.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much
No
for
problem. Thank
coming
you for
over.
having me here.
Really, been really nice and sincere to me, and it's just amazing to be able to host you, to learn from you. And
Aw,
I said,
likewise.
I wish you and your partner all the best for your channel, lah. Yeah, hopefully one day we can
Me
do a
too.
collab, or even next time I do animal content. You never know. We're out there.
Posing with snakes.
Yeah, maybe one day. But for now, I hope you enjoyed it. Do share this with people that might benefit, especially those considering starting a side hustle or just wanting to learn about content creation. And yeah, stay resilient. You know where to find MJ as well. Like, all the channels, I'll link it down below. Please follow and subscribe to them. Subscribe to our podcast as well. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.